Alright everybody, so sorry if the mic quality is not great right here. I didn't want to get my mic out just to do this little part here, but I just wanted to talk. This particular bench is going outside on a porch. So it is going to be, it's on a covered porch, so it's not going to be directly exposed to any rain or anything, except for maybe every once in a while, like today when it's raining sideways outside. Freezing rain too, I might add, but anyway, so I'm doing an outdoor grade finish on this thing. Spar urethane, I'm sure a ton of people out there know exactly what it is. It's, let's see if I can see it. Made by Midwax. It's insanely thick stuff. I don't know if the camera's going to show it pretty good, but it's super thick. The trick I've found to putting this stuff on here is I use these big foam brushes, and I do it similar to if I was painting latex or any other kind of paint. I go from dry to wet and try not to lift the brush inside the wet area if I can help it. And I also go, I think the instructions actually call for you to put on a pretty heavy amount of the finish, and I don't like to. I almost like to treat this stuff like a wipe-on poly finish, where you're looking to, or even General Finishes Armor Seal, where you're wanting to do really light coats. And that's what I try to do, is super thin. I don't know if you can't see it really well, but I'm not putting very much on the brush every time. I'm doing it a little more than I normally even would here, because I'm trying to get this bottom edge wet here. But I try to drag it out and get it on here in nice thin coats. This is the second coat I'm putting on this particular bench, and I may or may not do a third. It's going to depend on how it comes out feeling tomorrow when it's dry. It's super cold in my shop right now, so it's taking things a little longer to dry than I'd like, but that's okay. So anyway, that's what I like to do, nice and thin. And then at the end, if I can help it, like in this particular situation with this little section here on the side, is I'll start with my brush off the edge on the bottom and drag it all the way up to the top and just try and get a nice thin coat on here. So it just, it just barely looks wet. There's no run marks that way. I don't get any big drips or anything like that. You can always come back on an edge, try to keep two wet edges next to each other, and you can run up the edge like that if you think you're going to get any kind of runs. I usually don't worry about runs when I'm putting this stuff on, just because, again, super thin coats. You don't want big glops of this stuff all over the place, because if you get it, you'll definitely see it. So anyway, that's my little tip for putting on spar urethane. Alright, so that's a wrap on these two benches. The finish is drying on them now. I'm going to turn the fan on here. It's already freezing cold out here, so that ought to make it much more enjoyable to have the fan on. Anyway, that's those. I'm hoping to maybe deliver these tomorrow. Maybe? It's freezing rain outside right now, so maybe that's not the smartest thing to do if the roads are going to be all crappy. We'll play it by ear and see how it goes. If not, definitely later this week, maybe Thursday is my next day off after tomorrow. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then proceeds for that is going right into LED bulbs for out here. Took almost 15 minutes today for the fluorescents to finally come on. I don't know if that's a combination of it being cold, but I'm looking at 3 right now that are still completely out, so it's a lot darker in here than I'd like it to be. But get the money from these benches and like I said, get some new bulbs, and that's going to be the next video, I think. Came up on a Facebook group I'm in this week. Somebody had problems, 2 people actually, getting their LED bulbs to work in fluorescent ballast. So I'm just going to cover, I'm only going to be able to cover the ones I've got, but just kind of go over how to remove the ballast, rewire the tombstones to fit, or to work with the LED bulbs. So that should be the next video. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you like it, subscribe, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button, share it if you want. That'd be cool too. So anyway, take care. Stay warm.